What complexity here? Welcome to my first tutorial. Alright, so today I'm going to show off 4 farms. Each one is, I believe, very helpful in the beginning of your Minecraft survival world. So we're going to start off by showing off the sugar, then the lava, the bone meal, and then the bamboo. Why did I forget the word for bamboo? Alright. So first off, let's show the sugarcane. It's a pretty simple design, and I was trying to use as little resources as possible when it came to all these designs. And also, another thing to note is that I sped up the tick rate so you could see them work a lot faster. I figured that it would be good so you could see, that these actually work. These work in 1.20.4. Something else to keep in mind is that these are all scalable, right? So all these farms could be made much smaller. So this guy over here is our small little sample guy. It's pretty simple to build, so you just put the 2 hoppers there, the water, so that the sugarcane can grow. You probably only need 1 source block anyway. You don't need glass. You also don't need to use deep slate bricks, so you can use any block. The only important part is this redstone and the pistons. They're not the cheapest, but get together about 12 iron, some wood, and then whatever blocks you just got out of your mine, and you could probably throw this guy together. So pretty simple, and then you can scale it up. You can make this 100 blocks long if you really wanted to. Throw a bunch of hoppers down and call it a day. So then the next farm I'm going to show off is actually the simplest by far. It's the lava farm. So I'm going to show you here that it works. So as you see, I picked up all the lava within a couple seconds here because, again, sped up the tick speed. It replenished the lava. So there's 2 things to note. That it can take anywhere from 30 seconds to like 20 minutes from what I looked up, to generate lava. So if you're not getting any lava in the beginning, that's why it can take up to 20 minutes. It's it's like the same concept as this. It uses ticks, and it randomly, sometimes each tick has like a 1 in whatever chance of generating lava. So also, to make sure that it's a source block. If it's not a lava source block, it's not going to work, right? So you're going to want to get a lava source block, and then have a block down here, and then have your pointed dripstone right below that, so that way it drips into a cauldron. There's no other block that would work. It has to be a cauldron, and it doesn't spread or anything. That's why I wanted to show you this. And again, it has to be source block. You can make it as big or as small as you want. You can make it into different shapes. Put it in have a little room in your base and make it like this. Make sure that you do not use burnable materials when doing this. I'd recommend enclosing it, but you really don't have to enclose this. You could let it be open. You could throw your best friend in there or something. And then here's a little sample I did. You can get some small dripstone, 2 cauldrons, and call it a day. I actually have a setup similar to this in my world, except I didn't use glass. So keep that in mind. Alright, so the next farm is the bone meal farm, right? It's actually this one was probably the trickiest to make. Not that it was that complicated. But let's get started on how to build one. So if you want to do like the standard one like I got here, so what you'll do is, feel free to pause whenever, is you'll want to go up 1 layer first off from the ground, or even dig into the ground. I did that because there's bedrock and I also want to make this look nice. So anyway, you'll want to put a layer of dirt, and then go up 4 blocks, and then you'll want to have a source block at the top, so that way it'll push the kelp up, right? Because what happens is, also it looks like the farm's not working, and it should be. There's a weird glitch that seems to happen because I sped this up, where the kelp just sometimes won't grow. Yeah, as you can see, it works, and it's kind of showing off what I was just talking about. Right, so you saw how that worked. The water pulled it up and pushed it over into these hoppers, and then these hoppers put the kelp into the compost bins, and then they go from the compost bins, they get pulled into another hopper, and then pulled out and sent over here. and could have moved this over to the front, but I was trying to save resource and just have it here. So as you can see, for like the maybe 20 minutes I was doing this, I got quite a bit. I did speed up the tick rate though. So if you want to go ahead and make this smaller, you know, you might only want 1 or 2, or in this case 5. What you'll do is you'll place the observer at both sides. I decided to do both sides, but yeah, again, still not working because of the tick rate. And so yeah, you'll see it works now. Same concept. And then so once it gets up to the observer, trigger the redstone, and then down here you're going to want to do it like this. So you'll have a block below the piston, and then you'll have the computer or a piece of redstone going into it. Doesn't matter because, well, as long as you checker it like this. Just make sure there's not 2 pieces of redstone lined up and going into a piston, otherwise it won't work, or it'll create a loop. So then I have the hopper pulling it out of here, out of the compost bin, and going into a chest. A couple concepts to make sure you're aware of if you're designing your own farm or just want to know the mechanics is kelp will not go into a compost bin unless it is directly above it. Like if you face it into it from the side and you take a bunch of kelp, it's not going in. You have to do it from above, otherwise it won't place the kelp. And then you'll have to do a piston below it to pick up the bone meal. There, first piece of bone meal. Yeah, so just showing that off. Alright, so that's our third farm. And then we have one of the simpler ones. This is probably second simplest. That's being the 4th most complicated. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you want to go based on complexity. So that with the bamboo farm, as you can see, we got good rates, and there's still a bunch in there. With the bamboo farm though, you want to have the pistons on the low level and then observers up top, so when it grows long enough the observers will detect it and break it. You probably want to make this taller. I don't really know the exact height. If you want to make this taller, go for it. I did it for this so it looks nicer, but sometimes before it grows on the edge it'll grow in the middle and it'll grow really tall, so this is actually kind of bottlenecking in a way, so keep that in mind. This is, you know, a beginner level farm. I'm not trying to get maximum rates or anything. That's not the goal of these. It's just to have something, you know, making resources while you're out caving or doing whatever you're doing in your world starting out. So I have here, once it grows, it goes to the observer, it goes to a redstone piece, it goes down like this, and then I have that checker pattern that I told you about earlier, and then I have it on the same as the other side. If you want to make a smaller one, you can make like a 2x2. These are simpler because there's no water needed. You don't have to drench it in water or even have a water source. They just grow on their own. You can just do like a little 2x2, and just these 2 alone have produced that much because I cleared that out earlier. Well, not like all this, just the top part. So simple design, observer, and goes down there. And I'm aware that there is flaws with this design, right? Like, as you can see, there's a bunch getting left there. You could use a rail or a rail system with a hopper minecart and get those out. But same with this. Well, I mean, it's the same farm. Same with this guy. But again, we were going for simple and cheap and, you know, automatic. And this is semi-automatic, but I thought it would be a good farm to have at the beginning for infinite lava, in case you want to make obsidian or portals or whatever you want to make in your world. So I hope that these were all very helpful to you. I hope you guys liked my tutorial, and don't forget to like, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you have any comments, questions, or anything you want me to do differently in the next tutorial, let me know. Next time, maybe I'll do a more advanced tutorial. Not a beginner level, but I'll do some more complicated stuff. I'm only doing this beginner level because that's kind of where I was at in my world for the last couple weeks. So yeah, you guys have a great day. All right, take care. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.